When you're studying on your own, it's very easy to let yourself down. But when you're coming to a class every single day and like you're given homework and you're given something to do, I work really, really well when someone's like counting on me to do something. And so just knowing that there's somebody there waiting for me means like I'm not going to cancel last minute. So that's been a huge one there, is the accountability. And just their experience in general, I can tell they've been teaching for a long time and have a lot of patience. And patience has been the biggest one for me because I'd worked with a teacher before who wasn't very patient at all. I ended up not working with them anymore and switching teachers because my thought process is I know it's going to take a long time to learn this language, so I want to remove any discouragement as possible and add as much encouragement as possible. So that's why I really like the teachers here. The flexibility and the location. One, for the flexibility side, because I have to like balance freelance work and work commitments, and some months I have a lot of projects, some months I don't have very many projects. It's nice that I can just call up LTL and say, oh, this month I have a lot more time, let me book some more classes. Oh, next month I'm gonna have less time, let me book less classes. That's the big one for me, because when I was working with just private teachers one-on-one, you have to work around their schedule. Like there's only one teacher, and if they have multiple students, you can't really work around that schedule. The nice thing about LTL is I can call them up and like kind of be really flexible with the hours. I'd say it takes out all the downsides of finding your own teacher. That's the big one. So while there's a lot of good online platforms and finding it's possible to kind of like find someone just through talking around in Taiwan, it's nice that you don't have to worry about the scheduling. You don't have to worry about like if a teacher gets sick, they can get somebody subbed in. So it means that you don't have to worry about like your time getting wasted, which is a really, really big one for me. Is I know that if I've scheduled a time for the lessons, they're always going to happen. What was the question again?
So like how would you describe LTL to a friend if you were to recommend it?
Yeah. So I'd say it's all the positive sides of having a private teacher or having small classes, and mixed with the positive sides of being in a group setting, because they have kind of like a community for LTL, like a community of students here too, versus going to finding group lessons somewhere else. A lot of times those classes are a bit too big, especially if you're like at intermediate level. So when I was hardcore learning, I spent 3 months really dedicated to it. What I would do is I'd wake up early in the morning, I'd do my Anki flashcards in the morning before I came to the class. Then I'd do 4 hours of class time, and I'd come home, take a nap because there's too much Chinese in my brain. And then I'd use like whatever language learning app I was kind of like into at the time. So I didn't worry too much about which app I was using. I was more worried about like actually doing something. So when I was really into learning to write, I was using Scritter every day. When I got a little bit bored of that, I started getting more into reading, and I was using something like, what's it called? Link for reading. And so I always try to have give myself like a little activity to do on top of lessons. That's more just getting the exposure than like drilling. So currently what I'm working on with my teacher is we've translated my English stand-up comedy routine to Chinese. So every day I've been going through and practicing that. And that's been like my next goal is I want to start doing Chinese stand-up comedy in Taipei. So that's harder than I thought. And I thought it was going to be hard. So that's kind of my next goal there.